Hello and welcome to the Let's Do Video Podcast. Today I'm joined by Joe Manuele, the CEO of Highfive, and we're going to talk about everything that's happening in the world right now with the coronavirus. Joe, thanks for being here today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, David. Yeah, we've certainly been busy.
I can imagine. Let's start off by saying what is happening with Highfive? What are you seeing with usage and users? Is everyone really switching to video just like that?
Yeah, it's actually beyond our imagination. We're roughly doubling in traffic every 4 days. So, call it like maybe every week or so. Number of minutes, number of users is just on an exponential ramp. As more and more geographic locations go into shelter-in-place orders, more workers are being asked to work from home. And from a business continuity perspective, and this is not unique to Highfive, every video conferencing company is going through the same thing. We've been tasked to help businesses keep the lights on, basically, and keep it going. So it's a responsibility that I think we're all taking very seriously. And our employees are, while this is all happening, we all had to send our own employees home, and we had to adapt to working from home. And even though we are a video conferencing company, there's still an adaptation period there. So, but yeah,
it feels like it's going to get worse before it gets better. Are you guys ready for it to? I don't want to be a fearmonger, but are you ready if it's going to get worse before it gets better?
Yeah, I think from a Highfive perspective, at least I could speak for us. I know that some of the other video conferencing companies who are on private cloud on their own servers, had to have capacity and bandwidth issues. Fortunately, we built our platform on AWS, and we're just going to get a bigger bill from Amazon next month, basically. So we haven't had any scalability issues on the platform. The number of support tickets and enablement requests have gone up about 300% week over week. So we have a lot of customers who, sales and marketing maybe were used to working remotely using Highfive remotely. Now the entire company has to work. So we're training, like, the accounting department has to use Highfive. So our enablement folks are really, really busy. We're answering a lot of how-to questions, and then when folks go home, they have other things to worry about. Their bandwidth obviously is important. I think we're going to be talking about that a little bit. But their kids are home, their spouses are home, their pets are not used to having them around. And so we're helping them through. It's not just the tech, obviously, but there's also the realities of working remotely, working from home, and we're helping folks through that as well.
Yeah, I know your team is producing some guides and website resources for people who are new to working at home, and we'll make sure to put the links in the description of the video below here, so please check those out. So how are you dealing as a company yourself? You've switched to remote work. How you could be a model for the rest of the industry of the world as a video conferencing company yourself. How are you dealing?
Yeah, we made a decision last week. I'm in a time warp now. So, but a few days before the official shelter-in-place order came out for San Mateo County and Santa Clara County, and it's actually been extended to the entire state. So about 10 days ago, we sent everybody home. We were prepping for it. We kind of saw it coming, and just from different areas that were hit. And we've done a few things to stay connected. I'm going to host a virtual happy hour with the team at 4:00 today. So we're going to do this every Friday at 4:00. Everybody just jumps on the Highfive bridge. They bring their favorite cocktail, and we use it as an opportunity to have our employees share their experiences and what's working, what's not working, what could we be doing better. So we hosted one already, and again, the challenges are actually 90% non-technical. They're more dealing with, I've got one good room and my spouse is also home, who gets to use the extra bedroom and do the call, and who's doing a call in the laundry room and trying to figure out a virtual background so you don't know I'm in the laundry room. Right? I love having my dog around, but he keeps coming into my calls, and we're all going through the same thing. So we're accepting of these things now. We're accepting of kids coming into a room and giving dad a hug, or your dog coming in and licking mom's hand, while you're on a call. So and we all had a good chuckle over that. So I think one of the biggest things is creating that social connection, right? We're not just having a meeting to go through a task of business items. We're actually meeting to solve some business issues, but we're also meeting to listen and to say, hey, how's it going, and how are you guys coping, and what's happening, and we're also contemplating some changes to the product. We're a huge Slack shop, and so the combination of Slack and Highfive is how we run our business. And I have to say, David, it's worked really, really well for us. So it's worked so well for us that, as CEO, I'm far more open to letting our employees work from home when we come back to reality, whatever normal is after this. There's no reason that our employees need to be in the office 5 days a week. I find myself being far more productive working remotely, personally.
Yeah, I love to hear all that, because as someone who's been leading a remote team for 8 years now, I've been down all those roads, and some of them are just suffer points that we have to deal with, and some of them there are answers to. The chat video combination is just beautiful. You live in chat all day, and when you have to get work done, you escalate video, because that's how you get work done. And the balance takes a while to figure out. At first, I was worried about that disconnect. I was worried about my team members saying, is Let's Do Video a real company that I work for, or am I just a remote contractor? I get an email and I do a task. So I had a lot of team meetings, and my team started hating me because they're sitting in meetings. I'm talking to one person about sales, and the person who's in charge of the website says I could be working. So I overdid it. But then there were times that I underdid it, and it felt like we weren't getting anywhere. So all these things, it takes a bit of learning, but it is answerable. There is a video equivalent to everything at the office. In the office, there was a water cooler. In a remote team, you have a water cooler channel. And if the conversation gets hot in there because there was a great game last night, you jump into video and talk about the game for a few minutes. You could still have that connection, but it is something we are going to have to learn together.
Yeah, absolutely. And to a large degree, a lot of that happened anyway. Again, we happen to use Slack, and we have a Slack channel for everything. We have a coffee Slack channel to pick what coffee we're going to serve this month. But we have obviously we created a COVID-19 Slack channel to talk about what's going on and who's being affected and where's the next rush going to happen. And the ability from that chat platform to jump to video, something pertinent comes up. It actually happened this morning. We have a new feature called moderated meetings, and I was moderating a meeting with 33 people on it, and I had some feedback from my product management team, and I slacked Ranuk, who's our PM on that feature, and he's like, hey, let's just jump on a call. And we jumped on a call. He started recording the meeting, so he can keep the notes. And I gave him the 3 or 4 points and observations that I had, and then used that as an opportunity to say, so how you doing? How you coping? How are things? And it was a great opportunity to, like, we call it escalating a call to video. Like, if I need a quick answer, I'll Slack you, or I'll text you, or I'll message you. But if I want to have a deeper conversation, I escalate to video, and I can do that. And so that the workflow seems a lot more natural. And we did it a little bit, but we're really doing it a lot more this way. So this is it's worked out great.
That's exactly what I've been experiencing for 8 years, but exactly what I experienced today with my team. I was in the chat, and we use various chats and various videos, but I was in the chat, and I was thinking, are we on the right track with how to respond to this? Because we're creating a lot of work from home content, work from home tips, things that we learned over the last few years, and there's a lot going on, and I was feeling anxiety, and we escalated to video. And it was an escalation because I could only get so much across on chat, and my team could only get so much across. And we got on video, we escalated, and then we could see each other's faces, and then we could run down, what are we working on? What's happening today? What is due next week? What meetings do we have? Okay, you know what? Everything's under control. We have a good plan. Let's talk about life for a minute. How are you guys doing? Do you know anyone who's sick? Is everyone okay? Are you staying home? Are you staying safe? And we had that human friendship meeting, and we got it all done today. We got the work done today, and we got the socialization done, even though we weren't in person. And I think the world is going to start experiencing that now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, couldn't agree with you more.
That wraps up part 1 of our discussion. Please come back for parts 2 and 3, where we talk about why it's different this time and whether there'll be some fundamental changes in the way we think about work. The links will be available in the description below as soon as the videos go live. Thanks.